엄마가 났으니까 엄마가 죽여도 돼? 나한테 왜 그랬어 말해. 내가 왜 엄마 거야? 내가.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Noona's Noonchi Reacts, where I react to some of your favorite K-drama scenes from a mental health perspective. Today, I want to talk about Dear My Friends, a very underrated K-drama, I think, on Netflix. I'm going to talk about episode 9, very dramatic scene between the main girl, probably in her early 30s, late 30s, and her mom. This drama is about the older generation, the halmonis, and her mother is one of the younger halmonis, and she's not actually a halmoni, but she and her mom, the mom and the daughter, have this very dramatic scene that I'll be honest with you. I have watched it before, but I want to share it with you because I'm actually going to really watch it because I had to fast forward it. I don't know why, but it just kind of brought up some emotion. So perhaps for you, perhaps will be the same, but this is where the daughter brings up some things in the past. And she's very honest, expressing things to her mom about how she felt about what happened when she was a child. Trigger warning, TW, because I will be talking a little bit about suicide and a traumatic event that happened before this episode. That's the daughter. I don't know if you haven't seen this drama.
아이고, 집구석은 이렇게 깨끗이 치워놓으면서 늘 지 집구석은 개장난으로. 아이고, 웬일이야. 안 하던 짓을 다 하고. 안 하던 짓은 어렸을 때 늘 하던 짓이지. 기억 안 나? 6살 때부터 방 청소하고 설거지하고 엄마 웃으라고 들판에 꽃핀 거 꽃꽂이도 해놓고. 그때 나는 엄마가 좋아하는 일이면 뭐든 다 하는 애였잖아. 다 커서 질려서 안 했지. 그때가 그립지. 뭐가 그리워? 나는 그때 매일매일 조마조마였는데 엄마가 도망갈까? 엄마가 또 나한테 약을 먹일까?
Pause. So to that point, it seems like a humdrum dinner situation or evening situation, mom and daughter. The daughter's at the mom's house. She says interesting things. So she's saying calmly. What's kind of eerie about the scene is that the daughter's calm, cool, and collected, bringing up some things from the past. And did you hear what she just said? Yeah, I just keep thinking about that day when you might leave me, the day that you tried to poison me. Now, she, in the Korean term, has said yak, so that's medicine, but no, the direct translation is, and if you see the previous episodes, that is what happened. And I believe we're going to see it now, but the mom tried to poison her. And the daughter remembers that. Okay, so setting that up.
대체 어제부터 왜 저렇게 알지도 못할 소리를 해대? 가기 집애야, 꼴도 보기 싫어. 그리고 동진이! 엄마, 앞으로 내 인생에 끼어들지 마. 끼어들면.
Okay, just to set up the scene, I forgot to tell you this because it's good to know in case you don't watch this or don't know what's happening. In the previous scene, the mom yells at the daughter because she thinks the daughter's having an affair with the married man. The daughter is not. The mom misunderstood. But the reason why it's such a big deal to this mom is the daughter's dad, this girl's dad, and this woman's husband cheated on him. And she found him in bed with another woman. That's kind of traumatic, right? Not even kind of. It's traumatic, and that's the setup to the scene. Okay, so again, the mom thinks the daughter is having an affair with the married man. That is not true.
끼어들면.
Spoiler.
엄마가 네 인생에 끼어들면 어쩔 건데 네가 이 기집애야. 내가 동진이 만나지 말라는 게 네가 나를 그렇게 원수 보듯 쏘아볼 일이야? 그게 그럴 일이야?
That's why I couldn't watch this.
동진 선배를 왜 만났는데? 어허, 그것도 내 탓이네? 그럼 당연히 엄마 탓이지. 막 가고 싶었거든. 내가 동거까지 한 연하를 왜 버렸는데. 뭐, 동거? 난 엄마 거니까 엄마가 하지 말란 짓은 못하지. 엄마가 장애인 싫댔지. 그래서 다친 애 놔두고 한국 왔어.
Previous boyfriend she's in love with.
당시에 엄마도 쓰러져서 핑계도 좋았지. 6살 때 할머니 집 앞 들판에서 약 먹였을 때 나 분명히 알았거든.
거구나. 그러니까 무서워도 약을 먹으라고 하면 먹어야 하는 거구나. 내가 연하를 버린 건 다 엄마 탓이야. 미치도록 사랑한 남자 아프다고 버리고 나니까 내 안에서 내가 그러더라. 나쁜 년. 막 살아버려 그냥. 양심도 버리고 막 살아 그냥.
Okay, so the daughter's reaction is creepy, right? I don't know if I could ever talk like this.
잘못했다 그래 나한테. 잘못했다 그래 나한테.
She just threw her laptop.
왜 그랬어 나한테? 내가 엄마 거야? 엄마가 낳았으니까. 엄마가 죽여도 돼?
See, this is why I couldn't watch it.
나한테 왜 그랬어? 내가 왜 엄마 거야? 말해. 나한테 왜 그랬어 말해. 내가 왜 엄마 거야? 내가 왜 엄마 거야? 말해. 왜? 내가 엄마 거야?
So she's taking out all
나한테
that
말해
angst.
왜? 당연히 넌 내 거지. 나 이거 봐. 나 정말 싫어. 난 정말 엄마가 싫어. 나 죽을 생각하면서 어떻게 널 두고 가? 어떻게 널 두고 가?
Just take a pause there. It got really dramatic. This is why I couldn't see it because I think I was actually very jarred by the very dramaticness of it when she's starting to scream at her mom. We've seen it before, but something about this is there's a depth to this. So we do know that the daughter just said, "Why'd you try to kill me or poison me?" And then the mom just said, "I was trying to kill myself. How could I leave you behind?" So there's obviously that we're talking about attempted suicide. We're talking about the family drama back then when she caught her husband having an affair, and obviously the trauma that this girl is bringing up to her mom. Though she's not saying it's traumatic, she's saying she's filled with this such emotion. She says hate, but you know that's not necessarily what she means. She's just finally bringing it up. But let me just talk about this. The reason why she's bringing it up, because she's saying how I am in my life right now. I left a man. Basically, she left this man that she loves, who is in a wheelchair. If you watch this drama, you'll understand. And she left him so she could live her own life, but she loves this man. So what she's saying is, I'm messed up, basically. This is her reckoning moment of like confronting mom, saying, hey, I'm messed up. I left this guy that I love because of you, because you messed me up when I was young. Now, that I'm not saying that you need to have these conversations, but here's another example of, I still like this word, confrontation, for change to happen in the family. And a term in family therapy, there's a term called second order change. That is the change you want to go for, where the rules in a family or the dynamics in a family completely shift. Until this point, she had a good relationship with her mom, but a little distant, you know, that typical relationship we all tend to have, where you have good terms with your parents, but then that's all you can, there's nothing further than that. And finally, the daughter pretty much lost it because she was struggling in her own life, so she's lashing out at her mom. But at this point, I'll be honest with you, I think it's healthy. But I couldn't watch this because, again, you're seeing her throw a vase, crushing her hand, bleeding, right? I mean, that's just very dramatic, and that's not necessarily I recommend, but I'm going to recommend this. If you want change to happen in your family, adult kids, parents, and there's an elephant in the room that no one's talking about, eventually it's going to blow. Eventually, you're going to realize that you need to discuss it, and it's okay if it comes out like this. A lot of Asian families don't want to express, and they want things to be controlled. That's not possible in a normal world when we're talking about emotions and trauma and attempted suicide and things in the past that are very difficult in our lives, in our families' lives, right? So what I'm trying to do is give you permission to confront in a way that seems to come out naturally, even if it comes out like this. Just saying, right? But I'm going to say after this, what I'm going to I'm going to share what's going to happen after this to give you an understanding why sometimes this has to happen for change in the family. This is when your mom discovers the affair. So again, this is what the daughter's talking about, the mom taking her to the fields to maybe kill herself.
넌 엄마
엄마 싫어. 이제 내가 다 알았으니까 싫으면 싫어요. 누가 뭐래. 다쳐 이러지 마. 이러지 마. 이러지 마. 이러지 않아.
So the mom was poisoning her, it looks like. Oh. So she does get poisoned, but the mom stopped her. So I think the mom was trying to kill her daughter, not because she didn't love her. Okay, that's the drama of these Korean dramas, right?
비열하고 비겁한 박완. 왜 너는 30년 동안 묻어둔 그 얘기를 이제야 이렇게 미친년처럼 터뜨리는 건데. 너는 그때도 엄마를 이해했고 지금도 엄마를 이해해. 근데 왜 너는 지금 엄마를 이렇게 원망하는 건데?
내가 이렇게 된 거, 그리고 내가 연애를 헤어진 거, 그거 다 엄마 탓이야. 내가 이렇게 된 거, 그거 다 엄마 탓이야. 피나 하지 마. 그만.
그때 알았다. 나는 연하를 버린 나를 용서할 수가 없었다. 연하를 버린 게 내 이기심만은 아니었다고. 이유가 있었다고 변명하고 싶었다.
She was with this guy and then he got in an accident and became paralyzed from the waist down. And she left him. So, but she's still in love with him. So that's what the trauma
내
is.
탓만 하기엔 너무나 힘이 들어서 누구 탓이라도 하고 싶었다.
She wanted to believe.
그게 만만한 엄마였다. 나는 연하가 너무나도 보고 싶었다.
Wow. Okay. So that is actually my first time watching that scene. I had to fast forward through it because I thought it was just a very difficult scene. But what's some beautiful conversation there? It's narrated from the daughter saying that the struggles that she's having now, she had no choice but to blame her mom, but it really isn't her mom's fault. So I think that's pretty powerful. Why am I bringing this up? I think my main purpose is what I just said, for change in the family. There is a struggle that may be happening in your family, whatever that is. Maybe an event, a trauma, some hatred or bitterness you have toward your family, your parents, your older generation, or your kids that you never talked about. And somehow it's causing resentment and bitterness in your life. Do you know that forgiveness, that's actually what's happening here. I actually love that concept of forgiveness. You would think, what does forgiveness have to do with mental health, or what are you talking about? I go, hey, forgiveness, it's a big process of healing that has a lot to do with your mental health. And I believe in that moment when she had to literally lash at her mom, they're like crawling on the floor, wrestling. The mom's trying to hug her because the mom finally understands what her daughter meant. It wasn't about really blaming the mom because, the mom felt defensive. It was really what the daughter was struggling with and wanted her mom to be there for her, but there was just a lot of resentment. So at that moment, the daughter's like, she didn't say, I forgive you, mom, but she's like, I just realized what was happening. I did understand my mom. I just needed someone to blame. So we're going to see later on, this is a spoiler alert, but I'm going to tell you, change in that family between the mother and daughter shifts. Guess what happens? They become closer. That is my bottom line. If you're struggling with something in your family, I ask you, how are you going to confront it? Confront does not mean lash out like this, but this is a good example of what may need to happen in your family for something to change for good. And their dynamic shifts for good. They become very close. And in fact, later on, the mom even goes, yeah, we had to have this crazy conversation, but now I understand her. Isn't that really important? So in our Asian culture, we don't allow for these crazy conversations, but sometimes they have to happen for change. Thanks for watching with me, Noona's Noonchi Reacts. This was an episode 9 from Dear My Friends, one of my favorite dramas. Actually, I say everything is my favorite, but underrated drama that I really want to talk about. Thank you for watching with me. Please subscribe to Noona's Noonchi, where we have new episodes every week.